Hello friends, it's September 26th on the calendar, and this is another weekly review of instruments you could have made money on and can still make money on. As always, we'll start with oil. Let's open the weekly chart. Actually, let's look at the daily chart, but here, starting from the weekly chart, let me remind you that I believe the downward movement is over, and I've only been considering long positions in all my recent reviews. I do have a long position. It happened yesterday or the day before, somewhere in this zone, on a breakout. So this may not be a false breakout at all. The position is in profit, and we'll be moving the stop to lock in profits during the evening session, I think, and I think this will happen sometime later today. I have nothing more to add here, really. So the breakout from the triangular channel actually happened back here. I talked about this in the previous review. I re-entered here as well, so this week we'll see how it turns out. At the very least, this position is already very unlikely to be unprofitable for me. We'll see how things develop, because if this is a real breakout from the gray channel, then, oh boy, the potential here is huge. And by the way, my bots entered a long position with a fairly large volume. Let's move on. The same can't be said about gas. As for gas, well, first of all, it's hovering around 3. I drew the volumes at 1 and 2 on Thursday, and yesterday and today, those volumes have already been absorbed. If you look inside here, something is forming that looks like a head and shoulders pattern, if you can observe this kind of picture. But why is this head and shoulders pattern, with a high probability, even if it plays out and we go down, not to be taken seriously? Because head and shoulders patterns form when there are trends. That is, a necessary condition for their formation is a trend. So the relevance of a head and shoulders pattern is when there is a trend. We see that the trend is actually in the opposite direction, and this is just a pullback. But sometimes I've seen this kind of pattern work out as well. So we could go and, if we update the minimum, in this case just above 3, at 3.305, then it's quite likely we could go for a new low, which is still very probable. But does this mean that I've come up with some trade idea? Not at all. The trades I'm planning to make with high probability, as I mentioned, are in oil, which I entered, and in euro-dollar shorts. The last video was titled that way, as I said. And by the way, just to clarify, here I'm not doing anything yet. I haven't done anything here so far. As for the euro-dollar short, remember in the last review we were right here. I showed these 3 candles, and we saw this candle. Friday was the 19th, and the current dynamics look pretty good. I'm still in profit, but I haven't moved my stop to break even yet. If you entered with me somewhere here or on the next candle, then for safety you could have moved your stop to the high of the 4th candle, which would have been break even for you, or break even, yes, most likely if you entered in this zone. For now I've moved my stop here, so I've shifted my stop to this high. That means my risk has been significantly reduced, but I haven't moved it to break even yet, because I think that at the start of next week we might go a bit higher than this candle. So I'll probably keep this risk for myself, but I'd recommend you move your stop to the high of Thursday. As for my plans, you already know them. Here they are. 1.11, somewhere in this range. Whether it happens or not, we'll see. But for now, I'm still in the position. As for silver and gold, I don't have any positions here, just watching. They're shooting up into the stratosphere. For silver, it's not far from the all-time highs, just a bit above 49. As for gold, well, the current momentum is absolutely huge. But that's precisely what technical analysis truly means. When there's significant demand, absolutely nothing else really matters. Hello, precious gold. Hello, by all means. I will definitely be watching very closely. I'll be looking for some reversals together with the S&P index, searching for shorts. For now, I'm short on EUR/USD. Gold hasn't given me any hint yet that it's time to short it. By the way, Dix White has also drawn some good setups on the weekly charts. We haven't looked at the weekly chart for EUR/USD. Here it's also a pretty nice weekly candle, right? I mean, it looks good for a correction. Dix White is also drawing a similar pattern here. On the daily chart, we've moved back above the strong support at 9,750, so nothing is concerning here. That's why I'm waiting for some reversal patterns or volume signals on the daily chart for silver and gold, just like with Nasdaq. Speaking of Nasdaq, look at the volumes from last week. The volume last week was almost at its peak. Not the absolute maximum, but close. If there's an entry during the day, well, for now they're buying it up again. Look, for now they're buying it up again. They're buying everything intraday, so this is from the zone. Right in the middle here, at 22,555 on Nasdaq, you can look for reversal signals intraday and try to enter, because the volume is interesting. If we look at months or weeks, it's already an extreme correctionless growth that's broken out of the channels, and all sorts of indicators are already off the charts everywhere, but everything is growing, everything is rising, including S&P. And it actually came right up to my upper channel boundary and is already starting to react a bit. What was the maximum price? Almost 6,699. Interesting. So this is also a resistance level. Of course, we could break out above the upper boundary just like the Nasdaq, but for now I don't see any reversals here. Or any volumes either. There aren't volumes here like there are on the Nasdaq. So for now, this is just the beginning of something like that. Attention, yes, let's pay attention to this. We've moved above the upper boundary of the channel. A very long-term range could also form here. Maybe not a head and shoulders pattern, but let's see. Without any certainty, but it could look something like this, so it's right to set an alert here. Be sure to set an alert, keep an eye on it, and maybe there will be a short-term trade next week. But not this week anymore. Here was Friday, right? Yes, Friday the 19th. I said I would open 4.4, showed how it was dropping nicely, and that it was a good moment, and it was cheap. They dropped super hard, I don't even know what else to add. Robots are shorting some positions, but no one really knows. By the way, you can trade using the links in the description with benefits like commission refunds or just discounts without commission refunds and auto following. We have trade copying. All of that is in the description. Check it out if you want. I don't trade manually right now. I'm too busy. I just arrived, by the way. On Monday, there will be a live stream with me, a live broadcast. It will be broadcast on the Finam channel, so please make sure to tune in and watch. As for the broader Russian market, my initial forecast was actually formulated and made public back here, somewhere around this point in time, that we should anticipate seeing a significant correction throughout the entire month of September, based on this very clear double top formation right here on the charts. This particular correction is moving downwards to approximately 100, and so far, my overall thoughts and predictions haven't significantly changed at all.